treatments like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication. Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go Amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
Hey, what's up?
How far was your internship?
To be honest, I'm so nervous about starting this new role on Monday.
Oh, please. I know you'll be great at it. You should be worried about what benefits they have. Example, do they have health insurance?
I doubt they will have that for internet. But no shaking. I have NHIS already.
Ask your son a line, ting.
Ina, look at you. What are you going to do in the office when you can just download their app to register for an NHIS membership?
Yes, my people. You heard right.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This
adverts have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
The biggest car center in Ghana, offering unparalleled round-the-clock service in autos and accessories. Nadam Autofix is the biggest distributors of used tires in Ghana, offering first-grade second-hand car tires of all rim sizes at both wholesale and retail prices. We are also the leading name in car sensor diagnostics, corrections and sales of car accessories. We excel in car washing and detailing with state-of-the-art steam engine washing machines that keep water away from your engine, ensuring a clean, healthy and responsive engine. Nadam Autofix, the first name in servicing, car accessories and car washing. Visit us today and experience the world of class difference. Find us today at Asoridaho, directly opposite Dansoman KFC and the Shell filling station. For more details, you can call us on 0503 244 266 or 0535 339823. Nadam Autofix. Wukwain Sunyonko.
Blackwell, who's the Member of Parliament for the Northern constituency. Sammy, good morning.
Good morning, Doc. How are you doing?
By the special grace of God, I'm doing very, very well.
Good. Good morning, Nana.
Morning. What's been happening in Parliament?
Well, a lot is going on. Let me say good morning to all our distinguished viewers across the globe. We've resumed. We are in the second week of this meeting. The anti-LGBTQ bill is receiving concerted attention, and all indications are that in the next few days it should become law, barring any last-minute surprises from the president. We have not been pleased with how the president treated a number of private members' bills, which the House approved. Some have opined that the president was probably setting the stage for this particular bill. I would want to give the president the benefit of the doubt and hope that this particular bill, which has overwhelming support from the Ghanaian people, the religious community, our chiefs who are the custodians of our traditions and cultures, the vast majority of Ghanaians. Many constituents walk up to you and say that, look, we don't want that alien culture infiltrating into our ranks, and that you ought to do something about it. And it must be placed on record, 7 private members who have spearheaded this bill, and I must commend them, led by the Honorable Sam George, the Honorable Emmanuel Kwesi Bejia, who is president of the Parliamentary Christian Fellowship. Then you have the Honorable Dela Sowa, the Honorable Roxin Dafiamakbo, and the Honorable Reverend Intim, the Deputy Minister for Education. They have really done a sterling job spearheading this private members bill. So that is receiving tremendous attention. And the Speaker himself, you have to say, been adamant that this is a piece of legislation which must receive the needed attention. So they have prioritized it, and I think that we are really there now. We are on the cusp of finalizing the bill. Then yesterday, Doc, there was also this very important matter that was raised.
On the issue of the what we read yesterday, a news item to the effect that the Honorable Afenyo Makin had made an intervention which has blocked the bill.
Yes, yes, he has made a number of proposed amendments. He is of the view that custodial sentences for those who lead advocacy and those who engage in it and who try to indoctrinate children should not face custodial sentences. And he thinks that they should rather be subjected more to some, community service, and that even if there should be custodial sentence, it should be very minimal. And so he's been consistent about that for some time now. The last time he even argued that from his practice, what he has been told is that sometimes when you send these people in, what you are trying to prevent rather happens to them in the prisons where they are sodomized, to put it bluntly. And so he thinks that we should get them out of the prison. I found that quite illogical, because if these are people who are engaged in the advocacy of the matter and practitioners and want it done, why are you worried that when they go to a particular arena, they would get to enjoy what they were already promoting when they were? Would
they not go and
exactly and be faced with what he is saying that he wants to prevent? So it hasn't, those amendments haven't sat well with the majority of us, I must be honest. I'm not too sure he will succeed. Yesterday...
So in just to educate us, in an event like that, what happens? How does the thing move forward?
Yeah, so it will be put to a vote. It will be put to, yes, it will be put to a vote. It will be put to a vote. The Speaker will, so it would first be debated. So it's first advertised. When you make the amendments, you must bring it to the attention of the table office. It is then advertised. Then it is debated. After the debate, it is put to a vote. So it will be put to a vote. So far, it doesn't appear to me that he has galvanized the numbers required to really succeed. So he may just succeed in delaying the process. But I mean, it's democracy. When all is said and done, he should have convincing and is not compelling. You can't deny him of that right. You can't take that right away from the Deputy Majority Leader, an MP for Futu, the Honorable
incoming majority leader.
Yeah, if those publications are anything to go by. Then I was also coming to what transpired yesterday. Yes. Yesterday there was a very, very important statement that was made by the Honorable Deputy Minority Leader, the Honorable Emmanuel Ama Kofi Bua. And he was complaining about how the Nzima language is so threatened in his constituency, and that they can't find an Nzima teacher in their basic schools. They simply can't find any. And that even the options that are being given to children in his constituency when it comes to local language, you see them being given options to study languages that are non-related, and that we need to pay attention to some of these languages which are becoming extinct. In my contribution, I commended the Deputy Minority Leader and said that it was a very timely intervention he had made, because it is a matter that goes beyond Nzima land. It's a national issue, it's an international issue. And I drew attention to some UNESCO papers where UNESCO has identified 40% of the world's spoken 7,000 languages. 40% of them are under threat of extinction. UNESCO calls them endangered languages. 40%, that's almost half of all the languages that we speak as people of the world. And when you come to Ghana, Ghana teachers to teach the Ghana language, where there are schools that do not have Ghana teachers at all. And yesterday, the Honorable Sam George shared his own experience. How, when he became MP, there were only 3 Dangbe teachers. Only 3. And he says that they sponsored some students to go to Winneba, where, you know, our teachers, a foremost institution where teachers are trained. After the scholarship, these students, much to his chagrin, were posted elsewhere to go and teach other subjects, history and other subjects. They didn't post them back to Nengo Pram Pram. I also recounted other examples in the Volta region, where it's becoming difficult to find ever teachers. And that is a troubling situation, because the issue about language is about our identity, it's about our culture, it's about our heritage, it's about our soul, you know, and it has so many to learn the language nuances, how you say different things in your language and all of that. So there are even economic dimensions in terms of tourism. Look, a lot of even the inability of students to pick up in school, particularly at the lower primary level, that matter is now settled. It's now settled. UNESCO research is clear that when you teach children in their mother tongue, in their formative years, they pick up those subjects very fast, and they understand them better than when you introduce them by the imposition of foreign language. So we are really harming our children, harming the future of our nation, harming national cohesion, and we are losing our identity, losing the soul of our country. I made a point also yesterday on the floor about how, when we were in school, class prefects are told to write names of people who speak vernacular, they're talkative. But even worse, you are punished more when you are caught speaking the local dialect, your indigenous language. Can you believe that? I mean, what mindset led to such a policy and such a practice? And I'm told it's continuing, particularly in a lot of private schools, where you are not allowed to speak any Ghanaian language. I mean, this is abominable, totally unacceptable. But you find a lot of people priding in it. Oh, our children don't speak any local language. Oh, as for our children, it's only English, you know. And local languages are looked upon with disdain. I mean, when you meet people who speak better in their local dialect, in their indigenous language, better than English, they are looked down upon. They are discriminated against. All of these practices have to stop. So I emphasized on the floor yesterday that there ought to be conscious effort to shore up. I said that I was excited about that Twi can be considered a second official language. And I like what the Eastern Africans have done with Swahili, for example. You know, Swahili is really cutting across. And it is widely known that if Kwame Nkrumah's Africa Unity vision had been achieved, Swahili was top on the cards. That would have really been the African language of choice. But the Twi language is done well across the board. But we should research into how that has helped, how that has been achieved, and then in the process, shore up other languages so that we can have all the other languages, you know, doing well. We should consciously even encourage exchange programs as part of our educational curriculum. You know, where you go live with families, go to communities where they speak, you know, different languages from what you speak, and then it builds national cohesion. You know, when you speak to people in their indigenous language, you speak to their half a country, which is in such a gross deficit. All of those things can be addressed when we promote the local language. So it's a matter that, you know, really became very, very interesting on the floor yesterday. Many contributions, many dimensions. The speaker himself has ruled that it's a matter that we have to take seriously and really pursue and put together new policies that will protect the endangered languages, all of these languages that are becoming extinct. Get the education ministry, the Ministry for Chieftaincy and Culture, to come up with urgent policy interventions that will make sure, particularly in the area of training these language teachers, we must consciously make sure all our colleges of education, you know, particularly where they are cited, you know, the language to graduate and go into our basic schools and actively promote the speaking of our local language, because really that's our identity and that's our soul. So I'm glad that this matter was brought to the fore. Better late than never. We all know the dangers that are associated with people losing their language and losing their identity, losing their heritage. And I do hope that all of us will rally behind this national issue and address it once and for all.
Nana, this is an issue that you've spoken about a couple of times on this program.
The language matters. Yes. Before I come to that, you know, yesterday there was this news item about the state attorney who had lost his license.
Yes.
And I think it's in connection with the Wayome scandal. And this chap apparently had, then it turns out that he's had a deposit of a huge sum of monies from Wayome into his wife's account or something. And that clearly is a conflict of interest, you know. There's no debate about that. My worry is that it has taken more than 10 years for any sanctions to be administered to this gentleman. Because these payments were in 2010 or so, and we are in 2024. So about 14 years for, is it a bar association or whatever?
General Legal
14 years for this. The man is probably even nearing retirement or gone on retirement. You know, and it also talks about our justice delivery system in this country. Our justice delivery system. You have it in this country. It's our justice delivery system. As it is now, justice is denied to poor people because the process is so tedious and expensive. If a little case, small land case goes for 4 years, you have to be paying lawyers, you have to be traveling to court, and we don't seem to be doing much about it. Then it's all about technicalities and adjournments. You can have a case where you travel to court and you sit there for an hour, then it's announced to you that the judge is not coming. The judge is not coming. The clerks in the courtroom should be able to inform the parties. I don't know if you've had this kind of experience before, but it is something that going forward, whoever wins the elections, they really have to look at, work with the Judicial Council to really have some thoroughgoing reform. We talk about having constitutional reform and so on. And I'm happy about Dr. Bawumia's ensure a certain stability in the change from a military regime to a civilian regime in 1992. And all of us agree that that purpose has been achieved. And he is open to reforming the constitution and to make it more development-oriented. But beyond that, I'm hoping that as part of that process, the judicial reform, the delivery of justice, something that we really must look at going forward. Now, the LGBTQ++. Well, I'm happy that it is, Samuel Okudzeto is telling us that it's about to be completed in Parliament, and Parliament is poised to take a decision. I think that initially there were some worries about the human rights aspects of it, that some of the clauses would seem to be going against the human rights of people who chose to be LGBTQU something. And whatever it is, they are still human beings and they enjoy their human rights. The worry has been the propagation of it. That we have to have strong laws against it. If you chose to be LGBTQ, whether it was natural or whether you, by inclination, lifestyle, I mean, that is your business. But to propagate it, try and get people who are vulnerable into it and trying to spread it, that one, we have to really legislate against it. And I'm happy that the bill has been trimmed to still preserve their human rights, but ensure that they don't proliferate that lifestyle. And Samuel was telling us that there's some debate as to whether people, LGBTQ people or anybody found trying to propagate. The law is that don't do this. You are not allowed to do this, and you do it. It's criminal. And custodial sentence is part of our criminal prohibitions. And so I'm hoping that Parliament can pass this quickly, and then all of us will be at peace as far as this LGBTQ is concerned. It's your human rights to practice what you believe sexually, but the society must be protected from your spreading that particular lifestyle, because there's a general belief that it's not natural. The language thing, I'm surprised about the Nzima bit. The member of parliament for how is Nzima threatened?
He says they can't even find teachers. That the schools in the constituency. Yeah, we were all surprised to hear that. You know, that
because you see, the reason why I found the Nzima bit funny is that, you see, the main sources of a language being threatened, I don't think they exist in Nzima land. The main source, if you take the Ga language, the main threat against a local language is adulteration of the language by other languages. So if you take Accra, because Accra is also the national capital of Ghana, of course it presents immense opportunities for land values and property values for people who own property, the local people, the Ghana people in particular. It presents opportunity for them if we can get our land titling right, so that land actually becomes an asset and not a cause for conflict as it is now. But beyond that opportunity, there's the danger that your territory, being also the national capital, you face the danger of your language coming under threat, because you have huge numbers moving from all over the country into your territory. From Volta region, a lot of Evers, a lot of Ashantis, a lot of Akans, a lot of Dagombas, everybody coming into your territory to take opportunities that a national capital offers. And naturally, your language is going to come under threat. Indeed, as we speak, the Ga language is a minority language in Accra. And not just the language, the culture is going to come under threat. Places where the culture is practiced, when they have this the twins thing and so on. There are places where the ceremonies take place. They call it Akwele Suma. All those places are going to go. They've been developed into estates and so on. So that danger.
Yeah, but there are other factors. There are multiple factors.
One second. That danger, people coming into your territory, immediately puts your language and culture into threat. I don't see that at Nzima, unless maybe they have some mining thing and so there's a huge influx of people going there. Then the second main reason why the language comes under threat is interlanguage. So the Ga language is affected, the Twi language is affected, the Ewe language is affected. And when I say internal, so people like ourselves who may call ourselves the middle class and whose children gets a much better upbringing, we don't speak the local languages to our children. I have been to the homes of several friends.
Yeah.
And Evers, Twi, Ga. You see the children, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, and you call them. I haven't been to your new place, so I haven't interviewed your children. But many places that I go to, you go to a Ga home, friends, Ga friends, you tell them, children, touch over there. They look at you blankly. And then the mother would interpret, his uncle says, what is your name? It happens all over. All over. We all know this. I don't know if we take pride that our children don't speak. Internal weakness. Because I wasn't taught Twi at school. I spoke Twi at home. And there's nothing better than speaking the language at home. I wasn't taught Ga at school. I spoke Ga on the streets of Atabraka and Osu. I wasn't taught. These days, we don't allow our children to even go out and hang on the streets. They're always playing with their every 9-year-old, 10-year-old child of a middle class. And the middle class is huge. They have a phone, they have iPad, they have laptop, and other things. Their birthdays, they want the latest game. We got a little bit of foreign culture through the cinemas. We got affected a lot. These are children and grandchildren. Oh, they're always on these things. They are getting major eye problems. Major, because you take it away from them, they will go on hunger strike. And they're always watching this small print. Always, 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 always. They won't eat. Except maybe when they are very hungry. And they are cutting off, not through any fault of theirs, because if you tell them they should learn the local language, they don't, at this age, they don't see the use. So we, the parents, who must ensure we don't do it. And of course, one other factor too is that these days, children go to school early. I mean, when we were growing up, you go to school when you were 5 years old, and you go to kindergarten, if your parents can afford it. If they can't afford it, when you are 6, 7, you go to class 1. By the time you are 5 years old and you are going to kindergarten, you've started speaking around 3 years old. And so you are the parents speak Ga or Tree or Ever to you, you pick it up. So by the time you are 5, 6, you are going to school to be confronted with English language, you already are speaking the local. But now the kids are going to school, but I'm not saying it, the children, they are going to school in their infancy, 1.5 years. 2 years, they are going to creche, or whatever they call it. And so by the time they start speaking from 2.5 years, they are already in school at creche, and they are confronted with English. And the parents acquiesce and also start speaking to them in English. Because if we do a survey, you will find out that in 80% of middle-class homes, in Accra, in Kumasi, in Takoradi, in Cape Coast, in the big cities and so on, you will find out that 80% of children do not speak any local language. So that is a self-inflicted thing that we are doing to ourselves. So then the third, and so then we resort to the teaching. So we say that, okay, if we don't speak with them at home, but then they go to school, and then they are taught Ga or Tree, it may make up a little for the defects that have started in our homes. That is true. So that one, I don't see why we should be hesitating in having a regulation that once you are in a school in this country, you should be offering 1 or 2 local languages. Even if not compulsory, the option should be there. If you make it compulsory, which one are you going to make compulsory? But let there be an option for at least 2 local languages by law. So whether you are American school or you are a British school or you are a French school or whatever, fine, you can set up. But you must offer at least 2 local languages on your aid. But funny enough, even schools established by Ghanaians, you forget about the French schools and the American schools. Schools established by Ghanaians, Evers, Tree people, Ghana. They don't offer local languages. You know, so this is it. And I'm particular about the Ghana people because the pressure, and you are Ghana, the pressure on the Ghana language and customs, we must as a country recognize the special difficulties that the Ghana people in particular face because their territory is also the national territory, the peculiar difficulties they face, and take a national interest in preserving the language, the culture, and even the lands You know, it amazes me. You go to places in Accra, and even the names of the areas, the original Ghana names. You go to Mate Chulu, near where I live. Mate Chulu is Mate Red. Probably the first settler in that area was a chap called Mate, who was probably fair colored. So Mate Chulu. I call it East Airport Hills or Airport Hills or something. The Mate Chulu is gone. And then you have Shiashin, probably place where the local people used to get sand. So there's a lot of sand. So Shiashin is just sand. All kinds of it. And we are looking on. And Randy, maybe you should be leading a crusade. And the reason why I'm surprised with the Nzima thing is that in Nzima, I don't know that these two major threats, the influx of people, non-native people, and also the parental thing. I don't know if it's prevalent in Nzima. I thought Nzima is quite homogeneous.
So let me try and provide an explanation.
For Nzima?
Yeah, for what I believe Honorable Bois is raising, okay. Which is also a key issue. Yeah. You know, I don't know if you write tree. I don't know if you write. Okay. So you realize that literacy is both reading and writing.
Yeah.
And so I speak Ga, but I can't write Ga.
Yeah.
You know, I can read some Ga because when we're kids, my grandmother during morning devotion insisted that, you know, there's this book, Light on Our Path. The Ga one is Lai Ogbeno. So she preferred to use the Ga one. And we're forced to read, not forced, but we had to read that and the Ga Bible. So in that case, I can read some Ga, but I can't. Now the issue is that
look at the damage they were doing to you.
It's the reason why I'm passionate about that.
Now, the issue is that you know, a teacher has to be trained in the proper use, pronunciation, writing, and everything of a language, just like French. Now the problem you have is that over the years, people are refusing or are ignoring any tutelage in that regard. So people who go to training school, almost everywhere, that's the same problem with Accra. So although there is a national policy, there is this, that, the refrain most of the time is that we can't find the teachers. Then you have the scenario Sam George raised. So now some MPs or some traditional authorities or some institutions or some individuals decide that we will offer a scholarship for those who want to be trained as teachers in the language so that they can have enough teachers. Because you can't force people unless you decide now from a policy point of view to give incentives to those who want to be trained as teachers in those local languages so that they will come back and come and teach. And I think that is the problem that is affecting Nzima land, which Honorable Bois alluded to. So, yes, they speak the language in the area, but they cannot find teachers who are qualified to teach in the language.
Okay, but that applies everywhere.
Yes.
You agree?
Yes.
That applies everywhere.
Yes.
But when he particularized it to Nzima, that's why I was wondering what particular...
No, sir, he's raising an issue in his area.
Okay. Because you see...
I have a copy of his statement here. Can I... Can I
summarize it? Okay.
If he has spoken to some of the reasons. So if you don't mind. So he says, Mr. Speaker, one of the reasons that has resulted in disinterest in the learning of the language is the lack of qualified teachers of Nzima at the basic level, which is the foundation building stage in the language learning process. Things are not working. The University of Education Ejumako campus produces only a handful of qualified graduates in the language every year, which is not enough for the numerous schools. Even the few graduates who pass out have not been employed and are at home. Another key reason, Mr. Speaker, is that apart from the few products who graduate from, it is not included in the curriculum at the 3 colleges of education in the Western region. As a result, Nzima students who desire to study the language in any of these institutions are compelled to study either Mfansi or Twi at the expense of their preferred in Zimmer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's
so not yes. It's a big issue.
But you see, it cuts across the country. It's not peculiar to Zimmer, because I didn't read and write tree, and like you have also said, you didn't read and write Ga, but you speak Ga.
People consider my Ga as broken,
but you
those who really.
But you speak.
You know, in the days when I used to go on Peace FM,
yeah,
my uncles and aunties, you know, my mother is Fanti. They have a problem with me because I cannot string 2 sentences in Fanti. And so I'll speak my broken tree and lace it with English. And Sivaka has to bring my attention. He will always raise the issue. But your mother is Fanti. Why are you speaking English?
Yeah. So your mother neglected to speak the language with you. Okay. So, but you see, you speak it, and you speak Ga. So the larger issue.
Those who really speak Ga consider my Ga as broken.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I mean,
language. I can express myself.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I when I speak Ga, you would think I'm a Ga. But I know that is not pure. When I go to places where they speak Ga, you can see that this is very pure. But I can speak it. I can express myself very well, and it helped me a lot in my work as an MP.
Yeah.
In the first election that I went to in Okankwe South, I can speak Ga. The NDC opponent couldn't speak. He could just speak Ewe. Forgotten his name now. This Vision 2000. We're very good friends too. You know, very cordial. But he couldn't speak Ga. So when I went to Ga communities and I spoke the language at home, you know, because many of us did not learn it at school. We didn't learn Ga, we didn't learn Tree. But because our parents spoke it to us, we are now. So that's the larger problem. As for the teachers to teach it, I can tell you in many Tree areas, you will not get, unless we decide to make it compulsory. So
shouldn't we, if we really appreciate the fact that language, first of all, the importance, as has been the case is made on its table, shouldn't we, from a policy point of view, find a way of incentivizing people to study the local language at the training colleges? Because it's getting.
I'm saying that create a demand. Create a demand for the teachers. So then it will be worth somebody's while to go and study it, because they know that when they study it, they would be able to find somewhere to teach it. So policy-wise, in the Tree areas, Tree for anybody going to school should be compulsory, and then one other local language as an option. In Ga areas, Ga should be compulsory.
So the MP for Dododio, Neil Antivanderpool, he says there's a national policy that all children should be educated formally in their local language from class 1 to 5. He says, why do you get them to write an exam in Ghanaian language when you are not deliberately teaching them? And he says the GES is refusing to post our own people who we have sponsored to colleges of education to schools in our districts. Consistently, we have protested, but it's still persisting. I was taught how to speak and write Twi when in Sunyani. Why don't all schools in Greater Accra or in Accra compulsorily teach Ga? This is not fair.
But that's what we are talking
so
about.
First of all, it says that there is a policy, a national policy.
Yeah, there is.
That from age, what do you call it? From class 1 to 5, the children should be educated in the school. If in the school you don't have the teachers, how do you implement the policy or enforce it?
But has that policy?
Because I have an uncle who has a school somewhere in Tema, and there was an issue. It's a private school. There was an issue with this Ga language thing and all that. And his point is that, look, 1, we can't find the teachers. 2, even the parents who come to the school, about 99% of them do not want their children to study Ga. So here there are two issues.
Yeah.
And this is in a very cosmopolitan part of Greater Accra, somewhere in Tema. You know, so the issue of, so what if for me, the key point is that one, people are even not interested.
But that's something, that's where the key problem
people
is.
are not interested in even being trained as far as the language is concerned.
So,
and now we are getting another issue, which is that even when people are sponsored to be trained in those languages, the issue of posting them also becomes a problem.
I'm not even sure if it's only in Accra.
Yes.
Because I don't think in my hometown, the primary school there, they instruct the children in Twi. They instruct them in English.
So we are not
So we are just not enforcing across the... And so we should bring our minds to it. Policy should make it, if it's compulsory. Remember, when we were at university, you have to do African studies. It's compulsory, whether you are reading law or you are reading politics, you have to do. So many of us were forced to take to some African study, either dance or poetry or something. And you must pass it. They used to call it FUE. I don't know what they call it now. First university exam. And you must take a course in it. So the first thing is to make it compulsory, that the dominant language in the particular area should be compulsory for all children. And then one other language is optional. Then people have the incentive to go and study the language. Because now the other thing, if you go and study it and there's no market for it, then you probably will go and study something else. That is. But you know, Sami made some interesting thing about the exchange, the internal exchange program, which I found interesting. Because we have quite a vibrant international exchange program. So there are many companies that do exchange programs. They will bring young people from Europe and America to stay with Ghanaian families and so on. But there doesn't seem to be the same thing replicated internally. And Sami raised an interesting point that we should also be encouraging, say the LONVAC, children in Akan areas to go and stay with families in the north for 3 months. And people in Ga areas should go and study, and people in Everest, you know, so that you can have the same commercial arrangement that we are making for foreign young people from England and Denmark and Germany and France to come and live, place them with Ghanaian families all over the country. That if we did that internally, and maybe tourism or tourism is also for national something, can encourage it, encourage companies to also look at. We're talking about domestic tourism. This should be part of it. The placement of young people with families, parents, especially the middle class. We don't speak our languages to our children. And it has to be a certain consciousness. Because once you are speaking it to, you know, I have a little boy, your godson.
Yes.
I intend that he doesn't start school.
My main man.
He doesn't start school till he's like 4.
So 4?
Yeah.
And your reason?
So that by the time he starts speaking, he'll be speaking Twi.
Okay, because you speak Twi at home.
Well, we will speak it with him.
Okay.
and the literature supports that. A lot of educational aspects agree with him.
So see, but that's the issue. My older kids,
it's stressful.
My older kids, they started school because you are working. So the school becomes like daycare. And once they are there at 18 months, they start speaking at 2. They'll be speaking English. They'll be confronted with English. And that's it.
So there are the new standing orders. I'm sure you've heard them. And we're told that Parliament is to begin the use of local languages on the floor of the House to promote the Ghanaian culture and prevent it from becoming extinct. Order 63 of the new standing order states that a member of parliament may use any of the local languages subject to interpretation and translation to the understanding of all. That's expected to take off during the second meeting of the fourth session of the 8th Parliament. And the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, said the necessary facilities were to be put in place, including translators and appropriate gadgets for a smooth takeoff. So barring any hitches, the new measure will take off after the Easter break.
I don't think it's necessary. No. I don't think it's speaking local language for 200 people in Parliament is what is going to promote local language.
And which local language are you?
Well, what it means is that you must get facilities and interpreters for about 20
different
or 30
languages.
Local languages. That's what it means. You have to get even in Ewe, there are dialects.
Tong is different from Anglong, different
from also you must get a Ghana interpreter. If you come to tree, you must get a Santi tree, you must get a Kwapim tree. The Bronze speak a certain type of tree that I find difficult to understand. Then you must get a Fanti, you must get an Inzima. So even in tree, like 6, 7 interpreters, strictly.
When we come to the 5 regions up north, the languages are.
You must get a Dagomba interpreter. You must get.
So I don't know how Parliament is going to.
I mean, if you look at, I tend to agree with Nana, because if you look at the caveat under Order 63, I have a copy of the new standing orders here. It makes it even more difficult. So Order 63 provides that the proceedings of Parliament shall ordinarily be conducted in English, except that a member may exercise the option to address the House in a local language if facilities exist in the House. If facilities exist in the House for interpretation by the member or for contemporaneous interpretation. 2, the proceedings of Parliament shall be interpreted in sign language to the largest extent possible. So for 2, that's workable. That's okay, that's fine. It's progressive. There's no challenge with that. But you are going to have a challenge with this. It's because there's an if facilities exist. And can the House really put in place the facilities to contemporaneously interpret over 400 languages we have in Ghana?
Sometimes when we sit in Accra, we think that language is about Ghana. What we hear as ever. And then perhaps Dagomba. And then Fanti or something. Anyway.
There are over 400 languages.
Right,
but just to quickly point out that, you see, the issue of the teachers is very important, because inherent in the threat of extinction is that if you are not writing your language, you can pick it up from home, from the streets and all of that. But if you don't have people who are writing, you are not being taught how to write, you are not documenting it, yes, it will become extinct. So it's crucial.
But literacy is both reading and writing.
That's what I've said. That it's not just the teachers. Randy said give them incentive. I'm saying the best incentive is creating a market for that language. And so if you make the language compulsory and look at the numbers of schools in Accra, and Ghana language is compulsory in Accra, once you are schooling in Accra, and then one other language is optional. If you are schooling in the Volta region,
I agree. I agree. So and moving forward, Nana, I'm sure you will agree with me on this. Nothing should stop us from even adopting a local official language. Nothing should stop us. I think that the Chi language is emerging as that. Let's just
and I don't want to. People are free to express their views, but I don't want people raising issues with why is it compulsory? Why is it compulsory?
Why is what compulsory?
I mean, why should you? When you talk about it being compulsory, there are people who raise the issues. No, I must have the option of deciding.
No. You don't know.
Yes, but you see, the point is that not everybody even agrees. In fact, not everybody agrees that maths or English or science ought to be compulsory. That they ought to be compulsory, even up to a stage. I mean,
there are some people who say we have too many subjects. The kids are learning too many subjects.
Recently, I've seen something which says that, but now they're going to have like the art maths. during our time, the science students, they did add maths. There was a maths for everybody.
The additional mathematics.
But the science students did add maths.
Yeah.
So now it looks like they're going to do add maths for science students. So you don't have to do the core and the elective. And for me, it's quite progressive, you know. Yeah, but
it's your language, which is your identity.
That's your identity.
But you see, there's a certain mentality. I don't know where it comes from. When you say somebody said it shouldn't be compulsory, there's a related issue that makes the problem even more stark. The names.
The names of places?
No. That we give to our children.
Okay.
So, luckily for you, you are Randini Abe.
Anete Abe.
Anete Abe. Why? I don't think it is English.
It's not.
But it is spelled in the English version, A-B-B-E-Y.
Like Mensa and Mensa.
I'm sure.
So there's Abe and Abe. Abe and Abe.
So the original one is Abe, which will be spelled what? A-B-E or something.
Yes.
But it's now being spelled A-B-B-E-Y.
Which you'll find in England.
Which is a monastery in England.
Yeah.
But even you've gladly accepted it. And all your children have A-B-B-E-Y. But the name is actually Abe. But at least you have a couple of Ghana names in addition to your Randy. I don't want to ask you the names that you've given to your children, but in many
children have a combination of Guy Infante names.
No English.
They have. They have English. Their middle names are Guy Infante, and their last name is my grandfather's name.
Okay, so the mentality that says why should we make the local language compulsory? The same mentality that make people take pride in what foreign name they would inflict on their children. And the typical middle-class Ghanaian, when the woman is pregnant and they are 8 months pregnant, they can actually have a conference on what English name they will give to the
baby. Were you giving one? Were you giving one when you were born?
Yes.
Which one?
I forgot it.
You forgot it?
Yeah.
How?
Because I threw it off.
When I was you used it up to secondary school?
No, up to primary school.
And you
I threw it off.
So
one day,
is this Samuel?
One day,
or Nicholas?
No, listen, one day. So the name is, let's say it is Samuel.
Samuel.
So it's Samuel Nakumia.
Okay.
And then it's all Nakumia. And everybody's accepted it. Then one day, one of my father's oldest friends said, but because he was part of the time when I was given that name.
Yes.
And I was given, it was, let's say it was connected with some external event.
Okay.
It was connected with some external event.
Okay.
Related to football.
Okay.
Okay. So they were my father, they were young men in their 20s. So they came. So one of these days, then the man said, but it hasn't even occurred to them that I've stopped using the name. But it's the same mentality. Your language is dying as we speak. If you are guy, it's even worse. But the tree, whatever, is dying because our children are not speaking the language. And our children are supposed to be the leaders. They are getting the best training, they get the best education, they're supposed to be the leaders, and they will not be speaking the local language. And we are talking about it, you say what?
Anyway, so imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo Season is all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or the App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions to a merchant, either through the QR code or merchant ID, and stand a chance of winning 1,000 cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. The merchants are also not left out of the reward. Receive payments and win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are we doing today? Transact more with Momo Pay and more points and win big this Momo season. Visit Momo merchant application.mtn.com.gh for your Momo for Business account today. It's Momo season, so just Momo with Momo Pay. Terms and conditions. Toothpaste is recommended for children between the ages of 2 and 6. It's a product from Samara Company Limited, producers of Sasu, and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Calcate's Happy Smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages. But worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both homes and offices, and guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumon, or just call them on 0200-535-515. Or send a mail to elevatorsgh@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. Now, Amen Scientific and Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital is organizing a free health screening now for the general public. This is a way of saying anymore. Note that a medical screening is free, but patients with disease conditions will pay a token for their medications. Visit Amen Scientific at Domi near the Snit Flats down, or Clago near the Shaman Under Bridge, and all the other branches across the country. You can call Amen Scientific on 0207229505 or 0244227192 to book your appointment. Amen Scientific and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allah Shafi, God is the healer. We'll take a break. When we return, the Public Accounts Committee is holding its public hearings and all that, and there are some interesting revelations coming up as always. Is it another talk shop? Is it a name or shame that doesn't get anywhere? And did you know until the 13th of February that we had spent $12 million on Ijapa? We're back shortly.
There's only one way.
MTN.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu. Good afternoon, Mr. Asari. How is business doing? My business is collapsing. What to do is to contact them on their customer service line. I recommend Rossi Consult Limited, a debt recovery company to financial institutions, businessmen and businesswomen, other companies, and also individuals. Rossi Consult has 98.4% debt recovery rate. We have professional debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rossi Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcate's Toothpaste. Wow. I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my back.
Happy smile.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and elevators. The Elevator People.
Star Assurance, your solid partner.
We are back, bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two, with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bets. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
These offers have been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly. No under 18. Terms and conditions apply. Betway. Get way more.
Customer.
Draw no na safi no mami mi volume
Customer, one of our daily lucky winners. Dial *946# to play now. Or you can also play online at www.gamepackgames.com. Game Park is regulated by the National Lottery Authority.
All right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. Still with me on the show, I have the Honorable Nana Kwame and the Honorable Samuel Kujato Ablakwa. Now, I have something for you. We have about 30 minutes to go. And if you're able to send me a text to tell me what the English name that was given to Nana Kwame is, you have a reward from me by the time we finish the program.
Name the reward.
Yes,
you can be held.
We'll have to remind Nana.
If I name the reward, one of you could text it to somebody. Anyway, so what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, us got the mullah, got the power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on our Dome TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon, and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets, and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on the website at www.gamepackgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Okay, nobody beats our odds in Ghana. It says, Charlie could play this game and make some moolah. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more moolah, more power. This game is regulated by a National Lottery Authority. It is not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. And Ayesoko, Takosombo Dam be big, but Betway's cash out is bigger. Betway is giving you more control over every thrilling bet you place. Enjoy the biggest and most reliable cash out in Ghana on Betway without any hassle. Sign up today at betway.com.gh. Terms and conditions apply. And it's not for persons under the age of 18. It's regulated by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Betway, get way more. And do you remember not long ago, my parents used to brush our teeth with pounded peduncle of plantain, bodietri, mixed with charcoal. Charcoal has essential medicinal properties that help remove toxins from our bodies. The natural absorptive property of charcoal helps to remove the bacteria that produces bad breath in the mouth, hence giving you a fresh breath. Kel Charcoal toothpaste has been formulated and produced under strict hygienic conditions with all the necessary production protocols and has been approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Constant use of Kel Charcoal toothpaste gives you a good fresh breath, whiter teeth, reduces dental plaque, makes the gum healthy and strong, prevents cavity and upset stomach, hangover, and so on. Kel Charcoal toothpaste It's recommended for adults and children from 6 years. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for white teeth and fresh breath all day long. This is another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste, happy smile. And Kingdom Home Real Estate provides quality but affordable housing facilities for sale. The facilities are located at a serene environment of Ekuapeme, Kropo, and Ebri with the best weather conditions. They are 30 minutes drive from Accra and provide a modern touch of comfort. They also provide high standard security service plus CCTV, standby generators, constant water supply, and electricity. They are surrounded by lovely tourist sites such as the Ebri Botanical Garden, Boti Falls, Safari Valley Resort, etc. All you need to do is to pay 70% upfront and spread the rest within 2 years with no interest. Locate the Ebri properties close to Ebri Girls SHS and Ekropon properties right after Latte Junction. You can reach them on 0559 761 144 or 0555 621 611 or check out their website www.kingdomhomerealestate.com and also their Facebook page. And Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for over 20 years. And we already know what it does for the body. It contains vitamins and nutrients like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana, which are known to boost your strength and energy, as well as promote high performance and endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried. It is indeed the best. Blue Jeans Energy Drink is for bold and active men and women, so go on, grab a cold can and power your day. It's in shops nationwide. For bulk purchase, contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 0208 128 190 or 055 001 0000. Okay. Now, today is the birthday of a friend and a brother of mine, Obi Ade. So, Obi, everybody calls him Obi. Obi Ade, today is your birthday. So, happy birthday to you, Obi Ade of Air Talk Ghana Limited. So, happy birthday to you, Obi. Now, it looks like our previous conversation is attracted quite a lot of commentary on this, and people find it quite interesting, and there have been some comments. So Dr. Mancha Bruce of the Takoradi Technical University says that you've chosen yet another very critical topic for discussion this morning. Kudos. Urbanization, education, technology, economic influence, media and technology, social dynamics like intermarriages have altogether had quite a negative effect on our local languages. My late father, who was patrilineally Ga, had to fight his way with his Ekuapim mother to ensure that we, his children, spoke the Ga language. The good thing is that we're able to speak both Ga and Ekuapim languages. Here in Takoradi, the Hanta language has been totally taken over by Fanti. Indeed, I dare say that the Ga language is more spoken compared to a Hanta language. We must do something about this. And it says greetings to both of you. So this is Manche Bruce. And Kofi Capito. It says that the reason for this Ghanaian language problem is parents have refused to speak to their children in their native tongue. I was sent from Kumasi to Ebri Boys at the age of 11. And that's how I learned to speak Ga. Medically, a baby can learn many languages until the age of 6 or 7. There's a difference between Ashanti and Twi. Okay. Now, Baku says that Akumi has forgotten his name. That's cool. Now, Kakresama, it says, I love your discussion on local language use. That's why I love what Christianity does for languages. Because by translating the Bible into local, the CEO of the Minerals Commission, Mr. Martin Isi, he says that there is only one standard ever that is taught in school. Yes, we may have different dialects, but one standard ever is taught. So he says, tell the Honorable Kujetu that his Tom people say able for pepper.
Yeah.
But when you go to school, you are told in ever it is ataji. Yeah. Okay. So he says any Fanti easily understands Fanti. He says in Peki, where my mom comes from, pepper is pronounced differently, but we are taught ataji in school. So his point is that there could be different dialects, but the language is the language, and we shouldn't use the different dialects to prevent. I think he was talking about a parliamentary thing.
The parliamentary
yes,
thing,
yes. So there's another. I spoke.
Who sent that one?
Mr. Martinez, Minerals Commission.
No, but he's wrong.
Why?
Dialects they are just called dialects. But what are we talking about?
Yeah, that's the language.
Understanding.
We should make arrangements for all of them.
Listen,
all of them to be taught.
Sammy, 2 seconds. Is Dangbe a dialect?
No.
What is it?
No, I think
it's part of the Ga.
No, there's Ga and there's Dangbe.
Yeah.
That
yes.
language.
Yes, but they are cousins.
But you have you have the cousins. Family. It's like Guan.
Yes.
Under Guan you have various.
Dangbe, you understand Dangbe?
I can understand, but I can't speak.
But you can understand. But there are many people who can. I speak Ga, but I find it. You can understand one or two words as they flow, but you can't get the whole gist of it. I have a Dangbe friend, Atlantic Phones. Gilbert. Yeah. When he's speaking on the phone Dangbe with his people, I can catch one or two words, but I don't understand what he's saying. And so if there's an MP from Dangbe, and you think you can have a Ga translator,
his people even find it offensive. You must be sensitive to the sensibilities of people. We can make adequate arrangements, particularly for the teaching and learning.
This was on screen. Just check it. Look at this TV.
Oh, I love that.
This is that.
Nana could make English there. That's why you should not win the prize. That Sergio Ramos is not English.
Yes.
I think
your first name could be Spanish.
Yes.
You never know.
Foreign name is the issue. It's a foreign name. No, anyway, I'm willing to top up.
So let's talk
up
about
to the prize money.
The Public Accounts Committee. I mean, we are here again. It's another season. And this week I've had two of their members here, the Honorable Sam George and the Honorable Dr. Dominic Isi here. And I was raising the issue that, look, we hear of the same infractions, sometimes different companies, different SAMs, it's the same thing. People are called, they come there, some cry, some express remorse, some speak intelligently or unintelligently. A few exposés come up, and then what next, But it's happening again, and we're hearing a lot. One of the exposés will be that we spent $12 million on the Japa transaction, in setting up offices, and they say hiring consultants and all that. But you've been following, and you are somebody who has carved a niche for tracking public expenditure.
It's more educative than politics. But boss, please, what is your Christian name?
So that he can.
So
he called you boss 3 times.
Yeah. But the other thing too is that we've substituted or interchanged Christian name for foreign name.
Yes.
So somebody may be called Robin.
Yes.
And they say it's a Christian name.
Yes. Yeah. Because that's how it's referred to when you are in school.
Yeah.
Your Christian name, your middle name, your surname. Yeah. And it's later on that it's been tagged appropriately. First name, middle name, last name.
But on the street, Christian name is still very popular. Look at it. He's asking me what's my Christian name.
Yes.
Doc, and I've also made an observation related to that I think at the peak of the struggle for independence, when Pan-Africanism was on such a high, and the entire, black race, empowerment movement, the Martin Luther King era, I noticed that a lot of our fathers today, senior citizens today, all dropped their English names. To mention his name, Kwesi Pratt Jr. I mean, people will be shocked to hear that, Kwesi Pratt Jr. The day he told me, the day he told me, I was really amused.
I'm sure Kwesi Pratt is forgotten.
So it's interesting, from the 50s to the 70s, then along the line, the 80s, when some of us were being born, then we are back to these foreign names. And it's continued, the middle class today. I think it's only a few people. I mean, I have departed from that. My children have only, local indigenous names. I really think that we should revisit that. Our names are beautiful. The rich stories, the history behind our names.
Beyond the names being beautiful, they have meaning.
Meanings, yes. Meanings.
The God people.
Yeah, very, very powerful meanings.
But I can't. And when foreigners come here, they are fascinated by the account. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
And the foreigners, and they end up taking.
They always adopt.
And some other parts of Ghana.
Yeah.
Even in taking those first steps,
you'd
realize that they still go with what motivates the local names.
Exactly.
So you hear names like courage, hope, confidence,
peace.
And it's how they also name even in the local dialect. So it looks like what they've done is just, if I want to,
they're trying to give.
Yes, if it's courage, I'll use the English one. If it is hope,
and you know that.
And when we were kids, we made fun of them.
Yes, but most of them preserved, the local names.
That phenomenon is peculiar to every people.
Yes.
So the leaders. I mean, it's even worse than preserving the origin of
but
famous,
which is
you realize
your friend famous.
Even in indoctrinating them with those names. Because most of those names are even got after baptism. Back in the day, when you are baptized, and the priest gives you a name and all that. Anyway,
so unfortunately, we have to leave this very, educative and interesting.
Speak about it.
We should be speaking about this more often.
People from the academia,
education.
So we can have a serious discussion,
Sadly,
a more thorough discussion.
Sadly, we are now going to transition into the depressing track record of Nana Acumia and his collaborators in government. It's just one loot after the other, one dissipation after the other, wanton, wastage of scarce national resources. I mean, can you believe that when we all thought that we were able to stop this Ejapa create, loot and share scheme, particularly following the president was handling the whole affair, we had always been under the impression that the mobilization by civil society, what the Office of Special Prosecutor did under the former Special Prosecutor, we had been able to at least, close the stables, and that we have prevented what was going to be a clear lootocracy. Only to discover a few days ago at the Public Account Committee hearings that Ghana lost $12 million. I mean, and these people, they just blow the dollars as if it's $12 million. Look, if we had $12 million in North Town, we will solve all our resettlement problems. We'll solve all of it. And even build more houses which will be empty for the children who are growing up. $12 million. Imagine what $12 million can do today. Investment fund, spoke about it and said consultancy. I mean, preparations to get listed on the London Stock Exchange. $12 million. I am clear in my mind that people have to answer for causing financial loss to the state. I'm very clear in my mind. Look, you add this to the other $2 million that they said they were going to do a SkyTrain with. And I don't know who cooks these schemes. SkyTrain. What is the state of our land trade? Land trade. What is the state? You haven't fixed that. If you want to travel today to my constituency, there is no option. You want to go to Kumasi. People are stealing the rail lines because really the rail sector has virtually collapsed. Then somebody is, not really, it was COVID, don't blame me, And the president was at the center. He went to South Africa. If you read the stories about this SkyTrain idea, you know. So what's going on? Millions of dollars. Meanwhile, this is a country that cannot find 4 million cedis to save lives. 19 people died because they couldn't pay for dialysis. We are now depending on private sector. God bless the Fair Sky Group. And recently I see that Zoom Lion has also joined. Monthly, they are also sending money. But for the private sector, more will have died. Government says they don't have money to save fellow Ghanaians. They are dying like flies.
In where?
In Ghana, at Kolebu, the renal unit. Just for 4 million cedis, not up to $1 million, not even up to $500,000. And see what we have done with $12 million. Consultancy. And we've started the probes. Very soon you will know who those consultants are. Very soon. Local and the international collaborators. And you will be amazed. So I am glad that these revelations are coming up. And I take the view that we should not only leave these matters at the level of Parliament. The Public Account Committee will present a report. But we must insist that, you see, if you look at what the Constitution provides, Parliament should have set up a special implementation committee that will make sure that every finding from the PAC is followed through. There is prosecution. To the extent that that has not been done, and I don't know why all the eight parliaments, that hasn't been done. If you look at the constitutional provisions, which mandate that committee to be set up after the plenary has debated the report. What should be done now is for the Office of Special Prosecutor, because we all know that we can't trust the Attorney General to prosecute colleagues, because the Finance Minister, who today has been even elevated into much higher role, we're told now is a senior presidential advisor, when we all thought that, oh, we've got some... I mean,
if I see radio say sources from the Jubilee House, who are you?
I mean, they shouldn't even have added from the Jubilee House. They just should have...
Whom am I?
So look, we have been left disappointed, and it's clear that that finance minister is just going to be, a puppet to his boss, senior presidential advisor.
Is that what they said?
Yes.
On the economy,
a special envoy to the
they say it's a
senior presidential advisor.
Yes.
Is that the
on the economy, and the president's special envoy on the capital markets,
to the capital markets,
investments.
We have been chased out of. After they've shut the door at us.
Are you aware?
We need a special envoy to go and reopen the doors.
Are you aware that Benin and Cote d'Ivoire have gone on the capital markets?
Oh yeah.
Oversubscribed.
Yes.
Just last week.
Yeah.
Benin and Cote d'Ivoire, they are back on the capital markets.
Oh yeah. They're doing very well. We now need a special envoy to go and reopen the doors. Incredible. So here we are, discoveries, and get the Office of Special Prosecutor to commence immediate prosecution, because you definitely cannot expect the Attorney General to deal with that. But Doc, what many people perhaps haven't noticed is that the Public Account Committee is just clearing a backlog. They are 2022. They are yet to get to the
2023 just ended. So.
They are yet to work on the 2023 reports. And Doc, some of the things we are discovering with the reports that the Auditor General has brought to us for 2023. If you thought 2022 is worse. Yeah.
You mean 2023 is also ready?
Yes, it's ready. I have in my hands here just one of about 20 reports the Auditor General has brought. The performance audit report of the Auditor General on the construction of Cocoa Roads. Doc, if you read
the same Cocoa Roads for which a special audit was done,
which was never disclosed. Yes, Osafo Mafu led 200 MPP. Why he's no longer an MPP member and leading member and chief senior advisor to Bawumia is no longer.
Not in the office of vice president.
There's even rumor that these days he has made it to the top 3 for running mate. You know, that's the latest.
Not campaign manager.
No. Campaign manager is small. You know, he's really high up.
But there's a campaign manager is also between he and Dambutri.
You know. But if I'm the running mate, you fear power. What do you think? Admit.
He wants me to do some campaign for him. Because he knows Bawumia might be watching. So let me confirm. Yeah, we'll be shaking in our pants. Yes, I agree.
You brought it up.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Bawumia Akomia.
Yeah.
Bawumia Akomia.
It even rhymes.
Yeah.
So
Bawumia Akomia.
It's got a nice ring.
Very nice ring. Yeah. So Bawumia, do our friend a favor. You know, he has suffered for you people. Every Friday defending.
Banana is more than qualified for.
You know. Oh yeah. I mean, no doubt. You can't take that away from him. I mean, but for the group he joined, he's a fine gentleman. So Doc.
So something that
is a major consideration.
Even
that you've put across.
Even though I don't know if Nana has started going to church seriously, because I hear some reverend ministers are trying to overtake him.
He will take back the name
the baptismal name. It's a good idea. Yeah.
One of the names people have said to me about Nana, they say Jehoshaphat.
My goodness, people don't like Nana at all.
Yes, I mean, let's
so, Doc, when you read the 2023 reports, what is coming, the next PAC hearings on 2023 will even be more mind-boggling.
Really?
Just this Cocoa Road report alone, it has emerged that 226 contracts awarded, 87% of them were not competitive. Single sourcing. 87%.
I remember corruption reading and in fact, the acts of corruption.
87%.
That for institutes.
Yeah. And this is Nana Akufo-Addo, 23rd August 2016. He put out this tweet. The era of sole sourcing will come to an end. Come to an end. Then a few weeks after, his driver's mate also tweeted, following from his boss, Bawumia, this is his tweet, 8 September 2016. He also writes, overpricing of contracts through the use of sole sourcing is very typical of this John Mahama NDC government. Can you believe that? Now, what is worse is that after Bawumia has bashed John Mahama, pilloried him, kicked him viciously, scathingly, it has emerged that his brother's company is at the center of this.
Huh?
Yes.
His brother?
His brother, Abraham Bawumia.
He's a contractor?
Apparently.
Okay.
Apparently.
His company is named in there?
Yes. Of the company is Resources Access Limited. Resources Access Limited. I mean, you see how Kama works. See what they did to Mahama. You see how Kama works. Now, interestingly, you see the names here, Abraham, the directors of the company. So you have Abraham Bawumia and Annette Kaminska Bawumia. Annetta Kaminska Bawumia, they are the directors. So the Bawumias are here neck deep. And you see, what is worrying when you read this report is that the Auditor General discovers that when they assessed the report, when you come to page 23, they assess the various contracts. The few contracts, the less than 13% of contracts that went through a competitive tender process, those that were single sourced, and interestingly, the Bawumias, their company, they got 2 big contracts on the same day, 2nd July 2020, same day. Very, very, very revealing. And if you look at the 2nd July 2020 contracts, which they were handed over the same day, is to construct and upgrade the Efutu to Abrem Agona Road at a cost of 54.2 million. The second one to construct the and upgrade the Chibosu, Hosowoje, Bangalore feeder roads. 29.4 million Ghana cedis. We put the two together, and this is a juicy, very lucrative 83.7 million Ghana cedis. The Auditor General is telling us that he discovers that these single source contracts are 3 times the value.
Huh?
3 times.
Is in the report.
It's here. It's here. 3 times. And that we did not have any value for money. Let me read paragraph 59. From the sample of 35 contracts, Cocoa Board procured 8 through national competitive tendering, 18 through restrictive tendering, and 9 through single source. We compare in terms of geographical location, asphalt type specifications, length, scope, that were awarded the same year 2020. We observed that the projects procured through the competitive tender process yielded lower costs per kilometer as shown in Table 5. And he continues. Although the use of restricted tender and single source saved Cocoa Board the time it will have taken to evaluate a large number of tenders, our analysis showed that these methods cost Cocoa Board about 100% more than the use of the national competitive tender in terms of cost per kilometer. We deduced that roads procured under the national competitive tender were 1.5 to 3 times cheaper than what Cocoa Board got for roads procured using single source or restricted tendering. Up to 3 times. 13 billion cedis. Imagine how many more roads. It means we could have gotten up to 3 times the length, the coverage. Why are we doing this to our country? Why? And you people were on high horses. The Bahumias, including Samira, unprintable insults against President Mahama. Now see what their family is doing. See what they are doing. Look, I can't wait for the PAC hearings on the 2023 findings. I can't wait. I can't wait. So where is love for country? And then they say they are not corrupt. They are incorruptible. They, as for them, they have integrity. They have love for country. It is President Mahama who doesn't. It's the Mahamas who we should chase out. They don't. All the attacks that they mounted, the president, the vice president, and their family members, I never saw any of them quote from the Auditor General.
But with Cocoa Board, with what the new government raised with this cocoa roads during Dr. Puni's era, and the things that were said, the things that were put out,
the look at what Puni is being put through,
the special audits that was put in place and all that. And one of the key things, the key question they posed was, why will he give contracts above what
he could afford?
He could
afford, and what was budgeted for.
And to come to think of the same institution and the same government doing what is here.
Even West Dock, I'm glad that you have raised this. That's the Cocoa Road Improvement Project, the first phase under President Mahama, 2015. He said Cocoa Board awarded 234 road contracts valued at 5.2 billion, which was 3.25 times. So almost 3 times the 1.6 billion is budgeted for. Now come to CRIP 2 under MPP. The people who bastardized this and said, look, they've not heard this before and it's wrong and all of that. Under CRIP 2, the Auditor General discovers that they awarded 266 contracts valued at 13 billion, which was 9.9 times the 1.3 billion it budgeted for.
So they budgeted 1.3 billion. And awarded contracts of 13
billion. Can you believe that?
But what were they thinking?
I mean, can you believe that? Because the Baumias must be given a contract.
Well, it would have been helpful.
I can't wait for Judgment Day.
It would have been helpful if Samuel Kujeto did not spend so much energy in trying to bring in Dr. Bawumia onto this thing. Bawumia's brother, Ibrahim Bawumia, and he's doing a lot of work today. I don't understand why you are so happy bringing in his brother's name.
No, I don't have any issue with legitimate contracts. But where there is no value for money, where procurement laws are being breached.
Can I?
Those are the substantive issues.
Can I? If procurement laws are being breached, let's deal with it. let a proper investigation be done. Let us clearly show where the breaches are. Because you see, my only reason why I'm cautioning you is that if you try to bring in this linkage, then you invite other linkages. And I don't want us to go there.
But
that's why I'm cautioning
you. Were the Bahumians were attacking Mahama.
No, they were. I read his tweets. They were.
They said overpriced single source.
Yes. Because you see, I can also draw linkages, just to follow your cue, and I don't think you want that. We all know of people who were connected to President Mahama. Kanazui, for example, he got this huge contract to construct a wall at the Ghana Embassy in Burkina. Focus is one, that loophole. Obviously, both parties are guilty of this single source thing. It was brought into the procurement law to allow a window, and it provided strict criteria for single source, where the person is the only provider of the service that you require, and so on, or maybe time, there's some agency. But it's been breached. It's been observed in the breach by all sides. So I believe it is time to close that loophole of single source. The only safeguard provided for is that it must be approved by the procurement PPA, the Procurement Authority.
Public Procurement Authority.
The Procurement Authority has been staffed by partisan actors. The discretion that was offered has been abused across parties. Let's close it. If it's going to happen through a private member or whatever, we need to close that discretion, because we have proven not capable of resisting the temptation that comes with this single source across parties. The findings at the public accounts, another issue. I mean, these days, you hardly hear. You remember those days, the public accounts meetings were the most popular items on television. And they made gripping viewing in the days of Salas Mensah,
Kandapar,
Ajima Menu. They were gripping. Salas Mensah cried. He also went to head PPA. After public accounts and gripping, he went to head PPA. And I can tell you, nearly all the approvals for single source, all the requests for single source, has been observed. It has been observed in the breach. Let's close it by removing that discretion for single source.
So Nana, back to the kind of discussion I've been having with you on these issues. If we take at least the two tweets that Sami read, Nana Akufo-Addo 2016, Dr. Bawumia 2016, identifying this. I refer to the Dankwa Institute's press conference about sole sourcing and how it is corruption and all those things. Now, on the basis of all, we all know the months we spent on this cocoa board, they 5.2 billion when they were supposed to be 1.6 billion. Now, how do you explain to the Ghanaian who 2016 believe that this country
let me give you an explanation.
Yes.
On the matter of single source, obviously the NPP hasn't gotten it right.
No, so my question
the issues.
My question really is that for the voter who in 2016,
you have to tell the voter that we didn't get it right.
How do you explain that? That you identify that you've identified.
You were so firm. You said that. Look at the president. Said that era of soul sourcing will come to an end.
I have agreed.
Emphatic.
I've agreed to the extent that we spoke against it, and to the extent that it's still going on under our supervision.
No, it's even worse.
It's worse.
Well, whatever.
If we take just cocoa board, I'm saying that I remember sitting as host of this show for more than a month. The issue of Oponi
was being crucified.
Give probe. We brought in some private company. There's even some controversy about how much it costs. Yes. Why will at least for just this institution, why would they budget 1.3 billion and do 13 billion?
But one I've told you
9.9
that even the NPP, we haven't covered ourselves in glory when it comes to this sole sourcing. The facts speak for themselves. There's no debate about it, and we must pledge to make amends because we said we would do it differently.
No, you must be punished.
Facts show
we were punished for it for smaller crimes. You have come and done bigger crimes. You will be punished.
Are you a judge to?
You will be. The electorate will punish you for it. Because we can't trust you. Because now you have even brought in your family members. Your family members. Neck deep.
1 second.
Neck deep.
These people that you have mentioned, I haven't seen the reports, but these were people who were doing work under NDC.
There's no excuse. Neck deep. Listen to Baumia, overpricing of contracts
so you let me
through the use of sole source. It's very typical of this John Mahama.
I allowed you.
No, but it's been a discussion.
I allowed you. Yeah, but I allowed you to speak.
I also allow you.
Now it's become an interruption. It's not fair. You agree? You are too much in love with propaganda.
Really?
Yes. You've made a good point. Then now you turn it into propaganda. It's not good for you.
I'm still making good points.
Now,
speaking to
Randy,
facts.
yes.
This is the Auditor General
we
report.
need to find a way to close that single source loophole. We thought public officials will exercise their discretion in good faith. It's been shown since the law came into effect that it has been observed in the breach, and they've used that loophole of single source to abuse the procurement process.
So shouldn't the president and the vice president, who made this firm promise to Ghanaians, be speaking to Ghanaians about how they have gone from bad to worse?
Yes. I mean, if you say bad to worse, I don't know, because that's a judgment.
No, I was just comparing the Cocoa Board one.
Yeah.
One second. If you say bad to worse, we agree that is.
Read paragraph 9 of the report.
We agree. So you let me answer around this question.
No, you're challenging him that it hasn't moved from bad to worse. Me, what the Auditor General says is from bad to worse.
I'm not challenging. Where is it?
It's here. Read paragraph 9.
Read it to us.
Read it. Paragraph 9. For example, CRIP 1, Cocoa Board awarded 234 road contracts valued at 5.2 billion, which was 3.25 times the 1.266 contracts valued at 13 billion, which was also 9.9 times the 1.3 billion it budgeted for.
Okay.
9.9
So you're talking about a scale?
Yes.
But the principle
threefold.
is the same. Okay. But the principle is the same.
So that's what I mean by from bad to worse.
Yes.
So what we need now, two things. Close the loophole. Otherwise,
amend the law.
Which is amend the law to make, either we close it or make it tighter. Number two, find a way of prosecuting the Public Account Committee's findings.
Shouldn't we also be thinking of the electorate punishing people?
Yeah.
But
I'm not
done. Who point out the wrongs of today?
Yeah.
Promise to do better and fail to do so.
As for the electorate, there are how many? 13 million of them.
Yes.
All of them have their criteria for voting.
Right.
You agree?
Yes.
So let's leave it to them. Those whose criteria includes this, they'll take a decision on that criteria. I don't have a problem. But I'm saying that to the extent that it's been used as campaign against a government, and it is still going on, shows that it is something that is probably beyond the capacity of we politicians. So close it.
Okay.
Don't give us that option. Then this public accounts thing.
Yes.
Look, there was a time when even the sitting Chief Justice said that I would create a special court to deal with findings from the Public Accounts Committee. And we still, as a country, have not been able to move beyond the public accounts findings into punishment for wrongdoing. And if we don't redress that situation, 3 years' time, you'll be sitting here and we'll be reading the same Auditor General's report at public accounts. Because we saw when public accounts gripped this country with its live hearings over the period, and we're still doing the same. And this matter of effecting this couldn't move. So going for it, these are the things we should be looking at.
So we need to go.
Oh, Doc, I thought you gave me a minute to. We did a big commissioning last Saturday of a housing project. Former President Mahama was there. The national chief imam. We named the whole block after him.
So wasn't it a partisan NDC?
No. It was not partisan at all. And the donors were there. I want to thank all of them. We had such a great program. And last night, after parliamentary sitting, I went to visit them. And there was one block that we had reserved for the fiscally challenged. So I went to hand over the keys to them. So it's now all occupied, and 300 people. It went very, very well. You should see the building, and you should come and have a look at it. It's really nice. Okay. Really, really nice. Now we are waiting for your donation.
Congratulations.
No, it's not. And let me, Doc, let me thank you for sending me the message.
Yes.
Our friend has promised to deliver on Monday. So it's looking good that we could start a third project soon.
Okay.
Yes. So Nana, bring your donation.
No, you've done well. No, but when you turn into political NDC football, how can I bring you a donation?
All right. So for all of you who I asked to provide the first name of Nana Konya for a reward, nobody got it. So I shouldn't tell them today.
No.
Okay.
You mean you're actually going to tell them?
Yes, because they didn't get it. So I was going to provide it.
He doesn't want the world to know.
Oh, no, as for that one, they will know. So none of you got it, and I don't want you. I don't want you to go and do.
You know what Nana will do? Every week he'll say next week until you forget.
Somebody must get it.
So I'll give you a clue. I'll just give you a clue, and I'll leave it at that. So Nana was named after a legendary
footballer,
English soccer star, who once played a game against a top club side in Ghana.
But I've already said so, that it was related to football.
Yes, here. So that's the clue I'll give you. He's a celebrated, legendary English soccer star. He played against a club side in Ghana many years ago, I think in the 60s or so.
Let's go.
Okay, so that's the clue I'll give you. So thanks, Nana and Savi, for joining me on the show. Up next, GMV Trends.
And I don't see what we gain by attacking the record of our own government. When you do that, then you become, I'm still under the Arsenal sign. I'm different. And the people of Ghana will be that gullible. No. Let's.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
From StarTime, our prices are very, very competitive. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Appointed Time Printer Limited. Our printing is the solution.
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Morning Ghana Live on Metro TV. Time to check out what is trending on social media with Desi. Starboy. Yes, Desi.
Doc, good morning.
Morning.
Great. So I'm actually going to show sometimes you didn't want to come out for a while, you know. Yeah, but anyway, we'll play that last before we wrap it up. But let me begin. This morning, there's a hashtag trending, 8 is enough. And I should think that that's from the NDC, of course. So, you know, it's on Twitter trending this morning that hashtag 8 is enough, and a lot of people sharing their thoughts about the current government and why they shouldn't be given another term in office. Saint Shevina says that hashtag 8 is enough, Ghana needs change, okay. And Dr. Okobano says that enough is enough, hashtag 8 is enough. Nothing is working in this corrupt administration, hashtag 8 is enough. That's from Ian Quintero. Gary Salah says it's enough. Hashtag 8 is enough. So that's going on. This one says 8 years of nothingness, 8 years of blaming previous governments, and it goes on and on. 8 years of a failed driver. Hashtag 8 is enough. So that is trending on Twitter this morning. Same as Ashaiman. So I got to Twitter, I saw Ashaiman was straight. I was trying to look at what exactly has happened in Ashaiman. I cannot confirm, you know, what the reason for which Ashaiman is trending this morning, but it has been rumored, or the story is that a soldier has allegedly been killed. But that's why I say I cannot confirm, but that is why a lot of people are talking about it on Twitter, that you know, he went to the ATM to withdraw money and he was, you know, stabbed and killed. So that is why it is trending on Twitter. But as to whether that incident exactly happened as it is being said on Twitter, that I cannot, you know, verify. And of course, we're going to get deeper into that story into our news bulletin at 12. So make sure that you join in for more details on this. So that's why Shaman is trending this morning on Twitter, right? So on Val's Day, Sam George, the Honorable Member of Parliament, hey, that man, you sweet man, hey, the way. If he just chop for one corner, then they give some vibes, you know. Let's watch it. We went to Communal and Becker's concert, and that video of him singing along to D Crimes, Kill Me Shy, has been trending. Let's play that, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the video we played earlier from the minister or former minister Ambrose Derry. Yeah, so on our there, you know, the way, you know, it be vibes, cool vibes, like, you know, you know, Mrs. is also like giving some, hey, Charlie, it's in there, it go be, look.
Beautiful.
Okay, yeah.
Beautiful. Val's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was home with the family.
Oh, that's amazing. That's great. Okay, let me move on.
Hey, you said you were working.
Yes, I've been working since. Yeah, I've been very busy with work.
So continue working.
Anyway, so the president did a reshuffling, and former Interior Minister Ambrose Derry, I don't know, look, he was happy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen to the lyrics of the song.
Okay. Let's watch the video.
You should know. You should satisfy my soul. You should know. You should know by now. I like it like I like it like I like it like
I like it like that. I don't know that song from Bob Marley though, but after this I'm gonna be checking out that song. Looks like I need to get it also. I like it like that. For like so look. This one, excitement day inside.
I don't know if I would say excitement or reflection or akutia or I don't know.
The exact meaning you can't tell now.
I don't know what it means.
Well, not here. Anyway,
because if you check out The lyrics of the song.
The song.
Yes. It's talking about some satisfaction and all
satisfaction.
that. I mean, the title of the song is "Satisfy My Soul."
Satisfy my soul.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So his soul has been content. Anyway. All right.
So the lyrics says, "Oh, please don't you rock my boat, because I don't want my boat to be rocking." And it says, "I'm telling you that, so keep it steady." By the chorus, which is what So you satisfy my soul. Every little action satisfy my soul. There is a reaction. So to every little action, there's a reaction. Yes. It says, "Oh, can't you see what you've done for me? I'm happy inside all of the time. Can we bend a new corner?"
Hey. Yeah. The lyrics they tell something like they speak. They say, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. Thou speaketh." All right, so that's it for the trust today. Hey, but yesterday some sports people were telling you know, media for sports. Okay, that we'll keep it later. I'll bring it later. We don't have time on our side today. So that's it for the trust today. Have yourselves a great weekend. And see you on Monday. Yeah, my name is Desi the Starboy. That's it for the trust today, Doc.
All right. Okay. So enjoy your weekend.
Yes, sir.
Up next, Metro Sports.
You should know by now. I like it like. Satisfy my soul.
Morning Ghana is brought to you by MTN.